Every morning when you wake up, you are given a choice about who you want to be and how you want to shape yourself. Too often we think of change as something massive, something dramatic that happens overnight. But in reality, change is a quiet daily process. It's built not by the things you occasionally do, but by the things you consistently repeat. Every day is like a brick, and the life you're building is a wall. If you place those bricks with care, over time, you'll have a strong and meaningful structure. But if you neglect them, if you lay them carelessly, you'll end up with a wall that cracks and collapses when life tests it. Think about it, the person you admire most, the person you aspire to be like, didn't get there because of one big decision. They got there because of thousands of small, often invisible daily choices. Discipline in what they ate, persistence in their work, kindness in their interactions, courage in their decisions. Each day contributed to the person they became, and the same is true for you. The truth is, your future self is quietly watching your present self, hoping you'll make choices that protect and honor it. The habits you repeat today are an investment, and the dividends are collected in your future. Every time you choose to procrastinate, you train yourself to delay. Every time you choose to show up and try, you train yourself to persist. You don't become confident in one moment. You become confident by showing up every day, proving to yourself that you can do hard things. We often underestimate the power of ordinary days. We wait for big opportunities, for turning points, for life-changing moments. But here's the reality: ordinary days are not ordinary at all. They are the silent architects of our character. How you spend your Monday morning matters just as much as how you spend the day you achieve your biggest goal. Because your daily actions either prepare you for that moment or they leave you unprepared when it finally arrives. If you want to know what your life will look like 5 years from now, don't look at your dreams, look at your routines. Your routines are the blueprint of your future. They reveal whether your vision will remain a dream or transform into reality. That's why today matters, not tomorrow. Today is not a rehearsal. Today is the actual stage on which you practice becoming who you want to be. So ask yourself, what person are you becoming through your daily actions? If you're not proud of the answer, that's not a reason for regret. It's an invitation for change. Because every day you have another chance to place one strong brick, another chance to choose growth over comfort, discipline over laziness, generosity over selfishness. Over time, those choices carve out the shape of who you are. You don't become your best self by accident. You become your best self by design, and design happens one day at a time. FEF keynotes of the speech change is not created by one big decision, but by consistent daily actions. Your habits are investments that shape your future self. Ordinary days hold extraordinary power in building character. Your routines are the blueprint of your future, not your dreams alone. Every day gives you a chance to consciously design the person you're becoming. Change is not created by one big decision, but by consistent daily actions. This truth is simple yet often overlooked. Because we live in a world that glorifies breakthroughs, turning points, and dramatic life events, we love the idea of a single decision or single moment that changes everything because it feels exciting, it feels powerful, and it gives us a story worth telling. But real transformation, the kind that shapes who you are and what you achieve, doesn't happen in a flash of lightning. It happens slowly, almost quietly, through the things you do every day. The small, repetitive actions you take, the habits you reinforce, and the choices you make in ordinary situations are the ones that ultimately define you. Think of a student preparing for an important exam. Many people imagine that a single night of all night studying could turn the outcome in their favor. But the truth is, consistent studying every day, even for short amounts of time, is what builds true understanding and confidence. It is not the last-minute push that creates mastery, but the small, steady efforts made long before the exam arrives. The same principle applies to every area of life. Whether it's building a business, nurturing relationships, improving health, or mastering a skill, the difference is never in one decision, but in the daily choices that compound over time. Consistency has a unique power because it builds momentum. When you take small but meaningful steps every day, those steps accumulate. At first, the progress may be invisible. You may feel like nothing is changing. But just as water dripping on stone eventually carves a mark, your repeated actions carve into your character and results. People give up too soon because they underestimate how much power lies in the ordinary and repetitive. They want instant change, forgetting that greatness has always been the product of patience and discipline. Consider an athlete. You might see them perform at the Olympics and believe the medal was won in that single event. But the reality is the medal was earned years before, in the countless days of practice, in the decisions to wake up early, to train when it hurt, to keep going when no one was watching. That moment on the podium is not a result of one decision, but the outcome of thousands of disciplined actions stacked on top of each other. The same is true in less visible areas of life. A healthy marriage doesn't come from a single grand gesture of love. It comes from consistent kindness, listening, respect, and care shown every day. It's tempting to think you can change your life by flipping a switch, but the real switches are built one wire at a time. If you want to get healthier, it's not one workout that transforms your body. It's the routine of exercising regularly, choosing better meals, drinking more water, and sleeping well. If you want to build wealth, it's not one smart investment that secures your future. It's the discipline of saving, learning, and consistently managing your finances. Every result we admire in others is tied back to consistency, not to one sudden moment of brilliance. Another reason daily actions matter more than big decisions is that they shape identity. What you do repeatedly becomes who you are. If you read every day, you don't just gain knowledge, you become a reader. If you write every day, you become a writer. If you practice gratitude every day, you become a grateful person. These actions are not things you do once. They are things that transform the way you see yourself and the way others see you. Identity is not built on rare occasions. It is built on repetition. It's important to realize that the opposite is also true. Negative actions, when repeated, also shape identity and outcomes. Procrastination, even in small doses, when repeated daily, becomes a habit. Poor food choices, when made consistently, eventually reflect in health issues. Neglect in relationships, even through small actions like failing to listen or not showing appreciation, weakens bonds over time. Just as consistency builds greatness, inconsistency or harmful patterns build regret. Life doesn't suddenly fall apart. It quietly unravels through repeated neglect. When we embrace the power of consistent daily actions, we take control of our trajectory. We stop waiting for one big opportunity or a perfect moment to arrive. Instead, we recognize that we already have the tools in our hands the next 24 hours. What we choose to do with those hours determines who we are becoming. Each day asks the same question: will you move closer to your best self or further away? The beauty is that the answer is always in the small things: waking up a little earlier, focusing a little longer, being a little kinder, learning a little more. Change is not a destination you reach in one dramatic leap. It is a path you walk one step at a time. It doesn't need to overwhelm you. It just requires you to recognize the value of each step and to keep walking even when progress feels invisible. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit, but without planting it daily, there will be no fruit at all. The secret of transformation is not hidden in grand gestures. It is hidden in the ordinary decisions you make every single day. Your habits are investments that shape your future self. Every action you repeat becomes a kind of deposit into the person you're becoming. Just as money saved consistently grows over time, habits, whether good or bad, compound into results that are often far greater than we imagine. The way you live today is not just about today, it is a blueprint for who you will be tomorrow, next year, and even a decade from now. The mistake many people make is believing that their future will somehow improve on its own, as if time alone creates better outcomes. But the truth is, time only magnifies the results of the habits you practice in the present. Think about the way compound interest works. A small amount of money, invested wisely and allowed to grow over years, can multiply into something remarkable. In the same way, small daily habits, even those that seem insignificant, accumulate into the person you will eventually see in the mirror. Reading 10 pages of a book each day may not look like much in the moment, but over time it creates a mind filled with knowledge, ideas, and insights that can shape decisions and opportunities. A short workout each morning might not transform your body overnight, but it builds strength, discipline, and resilience that serve you in countless ways. The point is that the return on these investments is not immediate, but it is inevitable when done consistently. The challenge is that most people look for instant results. They want their habits to pay off immediately, and when they don't, they give up. But just as a tree takes time to grow after you plant the seed, your future self takes time to grow from the habits you practice today. The person you admire who seems confident, accomplished, or fulfilled didn't get there overnight. They are living in the harvest of habits they planted years ago. You cannot wish for their results while ignoring the discipline that built them. It's also important to realize that habits are never neutral. Every repeated action is either moving you closer to your best self or pulling you further away. Choosing to exercise regularly is an investment in strength and energy, while choosing to remain inactive is an investment in weakness and limitation. Practicing gratitude daily is an investment in a positive mindset, while complaining daily is an investment in negativity and bitterness. Skipping tasks, procrastinating, or neglecting your goals is also an investment, but it's one that builds a future of regret. The question is never whether you are investing, it is always what you are investing in. Habits also shape how you see yourself. Every time you act in line with the person you want to become, you strengthen that identity. For example, if you want to become a disciplined person, every time you follow through on a commitment, no matter how small, you prove it to yourself. These actions accumulate into confidence because you are no longer hoping to be that person, you are becoming that person. On the other hand, breaking promises to yourself erodes trust. And when you cannot trust yourself, it becomes difficult to build momentum in any area of life. Your future self is counting on you to build habits that give them strength, clarity, and confidence to face challenges. Another powerful thing about habits is that they often determine your opportunities. People often believe that success is about luck or timing, but in reality, habits prepare you to recognize and seize opportunities when they appear. A person who writes every day is ready when the chance to publish a book arrives. A person who nurtures relationships daily is surrounded by support when they need it most. A person who manages money wisely is positioned to invest when the right chance comes along. Your habits create the foundation that allows opportunities to matter. Without them, even the best chance can slip through your hands because you were unprepared. Habits also shape the hidden aspects of life: your mindset, your resilience, your patience. Choosing to meditate, reflect, or practice mindfulness builds inner strength that may not be visible to others, but makes a profound difference in how you handle stress or setbacks. Choosing to learn something new daily shapes a flexible mind that adapts to change. These invisible investments are often the ones that carry the greatest returns because they determine how you face the challenges that inevitably come. The beautiful truth about habits is that they are always within your control. You cannot control every circumstance in your life, but you can control what you repeat. Each day you have the power to decide whether you'll invest in a stronger, wiser, healthier version of yourself or whether you'll invest in the opposite. Over weeks, months, and years, these choices accumulate until they define your reality. Your future self is not built by a wish or a dream. It is built by the habits you commit to today. Ordinary days hold extraordinary power in building character. Most people overlook this truth because they believe that the most important moments in life are the big ones. The day you graduate, the day you get promoted, the day you achieve something remarkable. While those moments are meaningful, they are not what truly defines you. What shapes your character and your destiny are the countless ordinary days in between, the ones that seem unremarkable, the ones where you make choices no one else may notice. These days are the silent architects of your future because it is in them that you practice the qualities that will eventually show up when life places you in extraordinary situations. Think about an ordinary morning. You wake up and no one is watching what you do. You can choose to snooze the alarm or you can choose to start your day with intention. That decision may not look like much, but repeated daily, it trains you either to value discipline or to give in to comfort. Character is built in these unseen choices, not in the dramatic events that come once in a while. When you choose to show up on time for work, even when no one would notice if you were late, you're building reliability. When you choose to be kind to a stranger on a day that feels routine, you're building compassion. These small acts stack together and become the foundation of who you are. The extraordinary power of ordinary days lies in the consistency they allow. Anyone can rise to the occasion for one big event. It is far harder to rise to the occasion in the little things every single day. Yet this is what separates those with strong character from those who only appear strong when the spotlight is on them. It is easy to make a good impression once. It is much harder to live in a way that reflects integrity day after day. But that is exactly what ordinary days demand of you, and that is why they matter so much. Consider someone training for a marathon. The race itself is one day, but the preparation happens over hundreds of ordinary mornings and evenings where the runner laces up their shoes and trains. There's nothing glamorous about those runs. They happen in the cold, in the heat, when the runner is tired, and when no one is cheering. But it is those unseen, ordinary days that give them the strength to finish the marathon. Life works the same way. The extraordinary events you dream of will only be possible if you respect the power of the ordinary days leading up to them. Ordinary days also test your ability to make choices without external pressure. During big events, you're often motivated by the attention or the stakes. But on ordinary days, you must motivate yourself. No one is rewarding you immediately. No one is clapping for you. No one is watching closely. It is in these moments that your true self is revealed. Do you do the right thing only when it matters publicly, or do you do the right thing even when no one sees? If you practice honesty, responsibility, and discipline in the quiet of ordinary days, those qualities become a natural part of you. Then when you face extraordinary challenges, you don't need to pretend, you simply act out of who you already are. The danger is that ordinary days feel forgettable, so people waste them. They scroll aimlessly, procrastinate, or do the bare minimum because they think today doesn't matter. But every day matters because every day is either building you or weakening you. When you tell yourself that is unimportant, you're ignoring the fact that your character is the result of thousands of todays put together. You can't expect to suddenly be disciplined, wise, or strong in the future if you spent your ordinary days practicing the opposite. The truth is, the extraordinary often grows out of the ordinary. The musician who gives a breathtaking performance did so because of countless ordinary days of practice. The leader who makes a wise decision in crisis did so because of years of ordinary days spent studying, learning, and reflecting. The person who remains calm under pressure did so because they trained their mind in the quiet of daily life. Ordinary days give you the chance to build habits, to refine your character, and to prepare for the moments when life will demand your best. This is why you must treat every ordinary day as an opportunity, not a filler. It is an opportunity to live by your values, to take one small step toward your goals, and to show yourself that you are capable of growth. You don't need a dramatic event to prove who you are. You prove it every day in the small, almost invisible decisions you make. Over time, these decisions accumulate into strength, wisdom, and resilience that others may admire but will never fully understand, because they didn't see the ordinary days where it was built. So while the world celebrates the highlights, you must respect the hidden power of the daily moments. Ordinary days may look simple, but they carry within them the seeds of greatness. What you choose to do with them is what ultimately shapes your character and your destiny. Your routines are the blueprint of your future, not your dreams alone. Dreams are powerful because they give you direction, they inspire you, and they remind you of what is possible. But a dream without a routine is like a building plan without construction. It looks beautiful on paper, but it will never stand in reality. Routines are the daily actions that transform an abstract vision into a tangible outcome. They are the silent, repetitive steps that most people underestimate, yet they are the only true evidence of whether your future will be what you hope for or not. If you want to know where your life is heading, don't just look at your dreams or intentions. Look closely at your daily routines. They tell the truth. If your dream is to be physically fit, but your routine is filled with inactivity, the future won't match the dream. If your dream is to become financially free, but your routine involves careless spending, the reality won't reflect the vision. If your dream is to have strong relationships, but your routine includes neglect and distraction, you won't create the bonds you imagine. The blueprint is not written by what you want. It is written by what you do consistently. This is why routines are so critical. They work whether you are paying attention to them or not. Every person has routines, even if they are unintentional. Waking up late every day is a routine. Complaining constantly is a routine. Avoiding challenges is a routine. Just as positive routines build growth, negative routines quietly build decline. You cannot escape the power of routine. You can only decide whether your routines are serving you or destroying you. Routines also carry the power of automation. Once you repeat an action enough, it no longer requires much effort. It becomes natural. At first, waking up early or exercising daily feels difficult, but with time, the body and mind adapt. What once required discipline becomes second nature. This is why routines are such a powerful blueprint. They don't just shape your future, they also shape your identity. They rewire your default behaviors. Over time, you don't have to push yourself as much because you have already programmed yourself to live in alignment with your vision. The danger comes when people assume that dreams alone will carry them forward. Inspiration feels good, but it fades quickly without a structure to support it. Think of someone who gets inspired after hearing a powerful speech or reading a motivational book. For a moment, they feel unstoppable, full of vision and energy. But unless they translate that energy into a daily routine, whether it's reading consistently, practicing new skills, or acting with more discipline, the inspiration fades and nothing changes. Dreams can spark change, but routines sustain it. Another reason routines matter so deeply is that they prepare you for the unexpected. Life is unpredictable, and there will be moments when you're tested in ways you didn't foresee. If your routines have built strength, discipline, and resilience, you will be ready to respond. A person who has built a routine of saving money will be better prepared for an emergency than someone who only dreamed of financial security. A person who has built a routine of learning will adapt more easily to sudden changes in their field than someone who only wished to stay relevant. Routines create stability and resilience that protect your future, even in uncertain times. It is also worth noting that routines don't have to be grand or complicated to be powerful. Even the smallest routines done consistently create massive change over time. Writing 1 page a day can eventually create a book. Practicing a skill for 15 minutes a day can eventually lead to mastery. Expressing gratitude daily can slowly rewire your brain toward optimism. The size of the routine matters far less than the consistency of it. What feels small today accumulates into something extraordinary tomorrow. Routines are also a reflection of priorities. If you say your health matters, but your routine shows no care for it, the truth is in your actions, not your words. If you say family matters, but your routine is filled with endless distractions, then the blueprint is clear. You're building something different from what you claim to want. This is why examining routines, honestly, is one of the most important things you can do. They reveal what you truly value, not what you say you value. The power of routines is that they give you control over your direction. You may not be able to predict the future perfectly, but you can influence it by shaping your routines today. Every routine is a vote for the kind of person you want to become. Every morning routine, every work routine, every evening routine, each one is contributing to the story you are writing. While others may be distracted waiting for the right time or the perfect opportunity, those who commit to strong routines are already building their future brick by brick. So if you want to understand what your future will look like, look not at your dreams, but at your routines. Because dreams can inspire you, but routines will shape you. They are the true blueprint, and they are written not in big moments, but in the repeated, ordinary choices you make every single day. Every day gives you a chance to consciously design the person you're becoming. The idea may sound simple, but it carries enormous weight. Life is not something that just happens to you. It is something you shape step by step through the choices you make daily. Each morning when you wake up, you are presented with an opportunity to decide how you will think, act, and respond. That opportunity is not just about getting through the day. It's about shaping the long-term story of who you are. Far too often, people underestimate this daily power. They assume that who they are is fixed. That personality and character are permanent, but in truth, identity is something that is constantly under construction. Every decision you make is either strengthening the kind of person you want to become or moving you further away from it. Think about how even small decisions accumulate. When you choose to exercise instead of skipping it, you're not just moving your body, you're training yourself to be disciplined. When you choose to read instead of scrolling mindlessly, you're not just filling time, you're building knowledge and focus. When you choose to listen carefully to someone, you're not just passing the moment, you're designing yourself into someone who values connection and respect. These seemingly ordinary choices are votes cast in favor of the person you want to be. Over time, the votes add up and the identity becomes real. Designing your becoming requires intentionality. Without it, life tends to drift. Many people live on autopilot, reacting to circumstances rather than consciously choosing who they want to be. They allow habits, environments, and external pressures to shape them, and only years later do they realize they've become someone they never intended to be. But it doesn't have to be that way. You have the power every day to pause and ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today? Do I want to be someone patient or impatient? Do I want to be someone who grows or someone who avoids growth? Do I want to be someone who gives or someone who only takes? These daily check-ins may seem small, but they shift your focus from drifting through life to deliberately steering it. One of the most powerful aspects of daily design is that you are never stuck. No matter what your past has looked like, each day resets the opportunity to choose differently. If yesterday you gave into laziness, today gives you the chance to act with energy. If yesterday you lost your temper, today gives you the chance to practice calmness. If yesterday you neglected your goals, today gives you the chance to move one step closer. Every sunrise is a reminder that you are still in control of the story, and the pen is still in your hand. The choices you make today don't need to be dramatic to matter. Often, the small and consistent ones carry the greatest influence. A single act of honesty builds trust. A single moment of courage strengthens resilience. A single decision to stay committed reinforces discipline. Over time, these decisions layer upon one another, and before you realize it, you've built a character that can withstand challenges and rise to opportunities. You didn't become that person overnight. You became that person through hundreds of days where you consciously designed yourself with small but intentional actions. It's also important to understand that not choosing is, in itself, choice. If you don't consciously design the person you want to be, life will design it for you. Distractions, negative influences, and bad habits will creep in and shape your future without your permission. This is why being deliberate is so crucial. Without awareness, the days slip by, and when you look back, you realize you've been shaped by forces you didn't control. But when you choose intentionally, even in small ways, you reclaim that control. You stop being a passive participant in your own life and start being an active creator of it. Your daily design also sets the tone for how you handle challenges. If you have practiced patience in ordinary days, you will find patience available to you in stressful moments. If you have practiced courage in small ways, you will find courage available when the stakes are high. Every day acts like a rehearsal, preparing you for the bigger stages ahead. You don't suddenly rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your daily preparation. Designing yourself each day ensures that when life tests you, you have already built the strength to meet it. Every day is a canvas, and you hold the brush. Some strokes may be bold, others may be subtle, but all of them add to the picture of your life. If you are intentional, you create a masterpiece. If you are careless, the canvas becomes messy, and correcting it later is far more difficult. The beauty is that every morning offers you a fresh canvas to add to. Even if yesterday's strokes weren't what you wanted, today you can paint differently. In the end, becoming the person you want to be is not a single leap, but a series of daily designs. Each choice, each habit, each action is part of the architecture of your identity. The opportunity is always present, and the responsibility is always yours. Every day is more than just time passing. It is a chance to consciously build the version of yourself that you most admire. The truth about life is that who you are becoming is not written in one moment, one choice, or one grand event. It is written in the ordinary days, in the habits you repeat, in the routines you commit to, and in the way you use every chance that today gives you. Dreams can inspire you, but it is your actions that shape you. Every day is a vote for the kind of future you want to live in, and every day is a chance to place one more brick in the foundation of the person you are becoming. If you understand this and live with that awareness, you no longer drift through life. You design it. And the masterpiece you create is not an accident, but the result of conscious choices made one day at a time.